You find me today at Doncaster Railway Station on the East Coast Main Line, as I'm carrying on my East Coast Main Line challenge of visiting every single station between London, King's Cross and Edinburgh, Waverley. But I do have a confession to make, because at the start of the video I said this, and between London, King's Cross and Edinburgh, Waverley has 54 railway stations. I said there was 54 railway stations on the East Coast Main Line. I actually lied to you, to be honest. Yes, the guy that says to be honest has lied to you. But with good intentions, because there's technically 53 railway stations on the East Coast Main Line, because the first station I'm going to used to be on the East Coast Main Line, but it's not anymore. I'm waiting for Hull trains to arrive to take me to Selby. Our train arriving is a Class 802, which Hull trains branded these as Paragons, and we make our way towards Selby by passing a disused station that I've already been to, Arksey, which opened in 1848 and closed in 1952. And we'll soon be travelling on the original part of the East Coast Main Line, as the line going off in the distance is the start of the Selby diversion. But speaking of Selby, we have arrived at this former station on the East Coast Main Line. So we have now arrived at the first railway station. This is Selby, and the big question is why is this not on the East Coast Main Line anymore? It's because during the 1970s the National Coal Board was planning a big mining complex around Selby, and there was fears that trains could be derailed due to mining substances. So what the National Coal Board did, they actually paid for this Selby diversion route, which is between Doncaster and York, and that opened in 1983. And the original route to York, which came through Selby, actually closed in 1983. But it's a shame really, because back in the day you could have seen LNER locomotives and Deltics passing through this railway station. Selby Station started its life in 1834 when it was opened by the Leeds and Selby Railway as a terminus station. In fact, the terminus station still stands, it's in that direction over there, but it's now part of a Network Rail maintenance site. Now that station did close to passengers in 1840, but it was kept open for goods traffic. And the current station we're standing on actually opened in 1840 when the line from Hull to Selby, when the Hull and Selby Railway extended to Selby. Selby Station is a very nice station. It's got 3 platforms here. Platform 1 and 2 are through platforms, and platform 3 is a bay platform, a terminating platform. Now at the moment the station building is going under refurbishment, and it's also having lifts installed here as well. But just east of the railway station heading towards Hull, it does have a lovely swing bridge as well. It's a really lovely bridge. Now we shall be leaving Selby to go to York, which is the next station. Unfortunately, I can't go by the original East Coast Main Line route because that's long since closed when the Selby diversion opened. So instead we're getting the next northern train service to go by Church Fenton to get to York. Didn't feel much between Selby and York on this Northern Class 155, apart from rejoining the East Coast Main Line, where the Selby diversion finishes at Colton Junction, and we soon arrive at York Station, seeing this Lumo service passing through platform 9. So we have now made it to station number 2. This is York Station. Honestly, Jordan's with us as well.
Hello everybody!
Yes, we haven't got to Scotland yet and Jordan's with us. But going back to York Railway Station, it's just absolutely magnificent. It's a wonderful railway station to look at. It's a gem of a railway station, and it's a good train spotting location as well. Now unfortunately there is some bad news that happened, but it doesn't really affect me as much, but it has affected a lot of people. Because unfortunately a fatality has happened in the Doncaster area, which is really sad to hear. But because my journey is now mainly with TransPennine Express as far as Darlington, so the next couple of stations I'm visiting is with TransPennine Express and not with London North Eastern Railway, but they may hold the TransPennine Express services up. We'll just see how it goes, to be honest. So I'm going to talk about the history of York Station, but I shall be brief talking about it, to be honest with you. Now, the first station opened as a temporary terminus in 1839 by the York and North Midlands Railway. However, a permanent station was built in 1841 inside the castle walls. And you can still see that railway station today, even though it's disused, but you can see it from the castle walls. Now, the problem is with being a terminus station is some of the trains going north had to reverse out of York Railway Station to carry on their journey up north. The current station I'm standing on was opened on the 25th of June 1877 by the North Eastern Railway, and the old York Station ended up being carriage sidings for the next 88 years until the sidings were closed, and the site has been redeveloped to what you see today. So as I mentioned earlier, all my journeys now are going to be with TransPennine Express as we visit 3 more railway stations. And the first station I haven't been to before, so this will be a brand new station to me, but it's going to be Thirsk. So I'm going to find the 12:39 TransPennine Express service and let's head to Thirsk Station. This train we shall be catching is a TransPennine Express Class 185, and this is going to Saltburn, but most of the services have recently been cut back to Redcar Central. But after leaving York, you can see the National Railway Museum, or Railway Museum, which is worth a good visit. And after a bit of time travelling up the East Coast Main Line, we have reached Thirsk. And this is actually my first time being here, as it's a station that I have avoided. So we have now made it to station number 3, this is Thirsk. And the reason I've been avoiding this station for so long is just how the layout of this railway station is. It's got 4 tracks through here, but there's only 2 platforms, and the 2 platforms are actually on the slow lines. They're actually fenced off, the fast lines here. But honestly, looking at the layout, it's actually not too bad, to be honest, but this is my first time being at Thirsk Station.
Scotland! Scotland!
Thirsk Station. It opened on the 31st of March 1841 by the Great North of England Railway as Newcastle Junction. Now, just south of the station there was a junction which took trains towards Harrogate onto the Leeds Northern Railway, but that line long since closed. Now, I don't have a date, but during the time it was opened it was renamed from Newcastle Junction to Thirsk. So our time at Thirsk is nearly up, and honestly I wouldn't mind coming back to this railway station in the future. Now, we do have an issue because the 1340 Grand Central service to Sunderland is being delayed. It's currently at York Railway Station, but also at York Railway Station is TransPennine Express.
TransPennine Express via Grand Central. Which one are we going to take? To North Darlington. I know which one I would take, and you'll be going nowhere.
Yes, looks like Grand Central is going nowhere at the moment, but whichever train arrives first, because the Grand Central should have arrived at 1340 but is delayed, we're going to take that train to Northallerton, which is the next station down the line, and it's also one of my favourite stations on the East Coast Main Line as well. So it was TransPennine Express that arrived at Thirsk Station first. The Grand Central is following this train. But this was the train that was planned to be on anyway, leaving Thirsk as we head towards Northallerton, which is the next station up the line. So we have now made it to the penultimate station. This is Northallerton. And sometimes when I ask people what my favourite railway station is, because it's an easy question but it's a hard one to answer, I always say Northallerton because it's just a lovely location on the East Coast Main Line to film fast trains passing through. Sometimes you do get tones at this station as well, which is brilliant. But one thing about Northallerton Station is it is staggered platforms here. And also this is the junction for services heading towards Eaglescliffe as they go towards Middlesbrough or Sunderland. Northallerton used to have two railway stations. The first railway station that opened is the current station we're standing on, which opened on the 30th of March 1841 by the Great North of England Railway. The second station was opened by the Leeds Northern Railway called Northallerton Town, which opened in 1852. And that was on the line towards Yarn and Eaglescliffe. Now that station closed in 1856 because in 1856 the line was built between Northallerton and towards Yarn and Eaglescliffe, which is the line that TransPennine Express and Grand Central use today. So that road just up there takes you to Northallerton Railway Station. But I've just come to Romanby Road because I want to show you this here, which is a level crossing, which is a freight only line. Now freight trains use this line to bypass Northallerton Station, but also the LNER Azuma from Middlesbrough to London King's Cross also uses this to bypass Northallerton as well. So this is the part where we say goodbye to Jordan because he's going back to Edinburgh, but going back an unusual way. Because he's going to Manchester Oxford Road from Northallerton, and he's going from Manchester Oxford Road to Edinburgh Waverley. Even though the direct route to Edinburgh is via Newcastle. Don't know why, that's what the ticket they gave him. But anyway, do come to Northallerton because it is a wonderful station to come and fill trains at. But we shall be leaving Northallerton on the 1526 TransPennine Express service to Newcastle, but we're going to Darlington, our last station of the day. Now hold your horses for a second. I'm back at York Railway Station because something has happened in the December 2024 timetable. I did say I was catching a TransPennine Express service to Darlington from Northallerton. You can't really do that anymore because TransPennine Express have withdrawn the stop to Newcastle at Northallerton. So what's happened is LNER has stepped in and they're running a shuttle between York and Newcastle, calling at Northallerton every 2 hours. So you can't get a TransPennine Express service from Northallerton straight to Darlington anymore, but you can get more LNER services between Northallerton and Darlington. TransPennine are still stopping there, but on their Redcar Central services. Anyway, back to the video. So we have now reached the final station of the day. This is Darlington. Now Darlington is a very beautiful station, but it's also a bottleneck on the East Coast Main Line as well. And also a junction station for services towards Bishop Auckland via Shildon and also towards Middlesbrough via Dinsdale and Eaglescliffe. Now the reason I said that Darlington is a bottleneck because it's currently got 4 platforms here, 2 through platforms and 2 terminating platforms. But trains have to leave the East Coast Main Line to get into Darlington Station, and then they leave Darlington Station to go back onto the East Coast Main Line. However, though, that bottleneck will be sorted in 2025, hopefully, because currently right behind me there, they're actually building 2 new platforms at Darlington Station. So they're increasing the platforms from 4 platforms to 6 platforms. But the good thing is, if that ends up being built, it also increased the capacity for Northern as well to run services 4 trains an hour towards Middlesbrough, with 2 of those trains carrying on to Saltburn. Now the railways at Darlington actually date back to 1825 with the Stockton and Darlington Railway. The first station for the Stockton and Darlington Railway is actually Darlington North Road Station. This station actually came about in 1877 by the North Eastern Railway when they resited the first station, which opened in 1841. Also, this railway station was actually named Darlington Bank Top, but in 1934 it was renamed to Darlington. So it has really been an interesting day on the East Coast Main Line from Doncaster to Darlington via Selby. But most of the trains have been running late. Some of my trains have been running a few minutes late, but with what happened at Doncaster, and my thoughts go out to all the people that are involved in that incident at Doncaster, it has really been a good day on the East Coast Main Line as I visited all the railway stations. But for now, I'm going to put another video right here. Feel free to give that a click. The people on screen now, YouTube channel and patient supporters, thank you for supporting the channel. I've been SimOnTrains, thanks for watching. I'll see you for another East Coast Main Line as I head towards Morpeth.